Wary observations, righteous discussions unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast, and I'm your host, Omni, etc. OMNIETC, otherwise known, aka BKA, all that stuff. Another moniker I go by is Godflow. But listen. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking out with me. I see the subscriber count going up, even though I took a brief hiatus to organize some things. I got some great things in the works for everybody that wants to get deeper and deeper into this here omniverse that I'm cultivating, right? I'm soon to come out with a program called the Outer Rim Affiliates. As a part of the Omniverse. These are things that are not a core component of the Omniverse, but these are people, other organizations, things that I've attached myself to, aligned myself with, that are extremely dope. Got some great people out here that I've been able to make connections with, great programs that I'm a part of. And soon on It's OMNIETC, they will be presented in true fashion so that you all can see and partake in the other things that I have my hands in. Outside of myself, of course. So more of that on the way. If you're not already signed up for the newsletter, we're gonna have a mid-September newsletter. Should hit mailboxes on the 15th, so essentially 5 days from now. We're going to have more music is on the way. I've waited so long to put out this album. I've waited essentially 2 years to put out this album. I've been revising stuff because in true artist fashion, right? To put out an album, but to learn, grow, and evolve is a weird concept because the things that you present in music one week may differ from what you've challenged yourself on into understanding about the world and understanding about yourself in a different time period. So 1 week you're in one state of being and you're understanding one thing, and as you seek knowledge and grow and evolve in life, the very next week you probably don't think or feel the same way as you once did on certain things. With that said, I want the music and the things that I'm speaking on to be timeless. And the beautiful part is, being the type of artist that I am, I got bars for bars' sake. So it's been a wild ride, but I'm finally in the process of finalizing this album, To Whom It May Concern. And then I'll get back to my Gavril series after this album. But I really wanted to get off all of this energy that I've been withholding. And I couldn't be more ecstatic to do so. Because I'm trying to live life on more of a positive vibe and more positive thing, but there's a lot of toxicity I just got to get rid of because I find myself making certain songs and then I'm like, I can't hold on to this. I can't hold on to this energy because if I just continue to hold on this energy and I don't release it, then it's just going to build up compound while I'm trying to make more positive music. So I just have to release it. So some of this music is toxic as hell, I'm going to be honest with you. But it's all authentic, it's all me. And that's just the way that I got to do things. Outside of that, we're back with the Word Up Podcast. Which is another component of the Omniverse. And I'm very compelled to speak on certain things that have gone on, particularly in the state of Louisiana. In the state of Louisiana, my home state, my birthplace, there have been some goings ons, right? And it just occurs to me how lucky and how fortunate I am to have the upbringing that I've had coming from where I'm from. Now, I don't sound like what you would consider to be a typical bayou dwelling rapper sounds like. And that's because I had a very fortunate upbringing. Both of my parents were educators. My father, he instituted the YES program in the greater New Orleans YMCA to help felons read, because literacy was a severe issue, especially among the felon population in New Orleans. And my mother was a school teacher, served in the school board system for more than 30 years. Needless to say, they wasn't gonna let me talk like most of the niggas in New Orleans talk. It wasn't allowed in the household. It wasn't allowed, and that really set me apart in the classrooms because I still went to public school. So even though they had me sit myself apart, I was still sitting in with the kids that talk like that. And they didn't think it was so bad to the point where they didn't think I was actually from New Orleans, because I would say New Orleans instead of Nolans. Understand? And so I had to speak proper English at all times amongst my family members. And, you know what I'm saying, in order to survive, I had to do certain things in public school, some of which I'm not very proud of, just to be very honest. But being the man that I am today, coming from the environment that I came from, I feel very fortunate. And the reason why is because it gave me a more logical approach to life rather than emotional. And that being the core of everything we're going to talk about today. With that said, let's jump on in. If you could hit the subscribe button, notification bell, set the notification bell to all, and give the like to the channel. It really helps out. It really helps out. It really helps out what we're doing over here. Yeah, so what's going on in Louisiana is very indicative of the emotional state of most men. I know, coming from New Orleans, I'm gonna just put it like this: coming from New Orleans, coming from a city like New Orleans, right? The black men in particular, will think it's justified over the smallest disagreements to end someone's life. Coming from New Orleans, ending someone's life over the smallest disagreements is justified. I'm saying something small like where to go to eat can turn into a fight, could turn into a shootout, can turn into someone losing their life. A small insignificant gesture, like someone asking you for $1, and you not wanting to give up $1 to somebody in their mind would justify them taking your life for that dollar. It's how the city is. A good portion of the men there live on an emotional basis to where if they feel disrespected, not if they actually were disrespected, but if they feel disrespected for any reason, violence ensues. Ensues if they feel disrespected. Then that is the reason to crash all the way out like it's 9/11. Perfect example of this as of recently. Okay, a recent example of this. And a perfect recent example of this.
Not feel right.
Hold on. A perfect recent example of this, to me, is the situation with Hurricane Chris and 50 Cent. Hurricane Chris and 50 Cent. Now, 50 Cent recently acquired some land in Shreveport, Louisiana. And it's the same thing that, saying people of a certain ilk always believe that they're entitled to another man's success. It's crazy. I wonder if there were any investment deals. And I should look that up in real time, actually. I wonder if there were any other large investment deals in taking place in Louisiana. Large investment deals taking place in Louisiana, and I'm looking at them right now. I wonder if there were any other large investment deals taking place in Louisiana outside of, a black man buying up a bunch of land in Shreveport. Because we fall for it we do it to ourselves every time. I swear we do it to ourselves every time. So 50 Cent bought a bunch of land in Shreveport. He's coming out with G Unit Studios. He wanted to throw an event. Got a bunch of hot acts, to bring in a bunch of revenue. So people from other locations outside of Shreveport might come in to this event that Curtis Jackson is hosting, right? He put up all his money for. He bought the land. He did the deal. He hired all of these acts. And just like bums over crumbs, Hurricane Chris is like, well, where's ours? Because we local and we already been here and da-da-da-da-da-da. But that's not how business works. Just because you live somewhere doesn't mean that you're entitled to anything. Just because you were already there doesn't mean that just because you had proximity. And we saw this with the baby, right? We saw this with the baby. The baby was shooting a music video. Some guys came out, was like, yo, you didn't check in. We needed you to check in. That whole thing. I wonder if Negroes, right? I wonder if Negroes just wait at the airport, and when an investment banker flies in, they try to extort him the money and make sure that he checks in. I wonder if, I wonder if Bill Gates touches down in Louisiana is her over a deal with Microsoft. I wonder if Hurricane Chris is going to see him about that. Why is it always? Why is it always when a black man or a black person is conducting business in a particular territory that you just so happen to live in, that you believe that you're entitled to a portion of that transaction? Why is it? I don't think y'all hear me. Why is it, or why would it be? Why is it, or why would it be that when a black man is conducting business in a particular area, he's minding his own business, right? He comes to a city, he comes to a town, and you have no pre-existing relationship with this individual. You never reached out. You were never concerned about anything that this person ever did. You never built a rapport. You never built a an understanding. You never built an understanding. You never built a rapport. You know what I'm saying? Why is it? Why is it that when a black man does business in an area in which is just so happen you live in, you feel entitled to a portion of that transaction, to a portion of that deal, when you did nothing to earn it? It's another concept that was instilled in me at a young age. I don't really want anything, nor will I respect it if I didn't earn it. If I didn't earn the thing, I 9 times out of 10 I won't respect it. That's why I always have this saying, I want all of mine and none of y'all's. I will kill and die over what is rightfully mine, but if it ain't mine, I ain't worried about it. So I don't understand this entitled mentality that people have. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't checking in. I ain't checking in. Just because I bought some land in Louisiana and you so happen to live in Louisiana, doesn't mean that you're necessarily entitled to us doing business. Now, if we already had a relationship, if we already did something, and I'm looking at tons of business deals here. I'm looking at tons of things that are being done in the city of Louisiana in the past year. December 7th, 2023, Louisiana tops $25 billion in capital investment in 2023. Straight year of economic growth and development. There were several deals. There was a project that won, what does it say? $2 billion. Not $2 billion, $20 billion. Governor Edwards' administration, more than for past 8 years, Governor Edwards brought in more than $105 billion in new investment capital. So I really don't understand, why is it specifically, it's that whole I'm black, you black. You should support me just because I'm black. If that's how it works, my channel should be flooded. I don't expect it. I don't need it. I don't expect it, nor do I need it. because I don't mind grinding my ass off to get it. I do not mind putting in the work necessary in order to get the thing that I'm looking for. I don't mind going and getting it for myself. But Hurricane Chris is mad at one show, at one event, and he's mad that 50 didn't come see him, of all people, or any other Louisiana legends, because he did say Louisiana legends. We're going to get to the video in a second. But he's mad that another man didn't give him something. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And he feels disrespected because of that. And he's ready to crash all the way out to take a life or lose his life because another man didn't give him something he feels entitled to. That's essentially what he's saying. Let's go to the video real quick. We're going to go here to the video. This is what I was talking about. Louisiana economic development. It was a news release. Louisiana tops $25 billion in capital investment in 2023. Where was Hurricane Chris about that? Let me guess, because it's not a black person's money. You don't want their money. You don't want to do what it takes to get the 25 to touch any portion of the 25 billion. But for a few million off of 50 cents deal, you ready to crash all the way out. This is why I can't. This is what I mean when I say the sense of entitlement. And I really can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's not justified. It's not justified to me. But let's go to this video. We're gonna go. Boosie really didn't speak nothing on it. They just putting some flavor at the beginning. Boosie didn't say nothing about 50 right here. They putting some unnecessary flavor on it because that's what the media likes to do nowadays.
How the f you supposed to be that's a part of hip hop? You throw a concert in Louisiana and don't book no Louisiana legends and put no bankroll in no Louisiana legends pocket, but you pay the police $500,000. What type of is that? You ain't with my city. You taking advantage of my city. It's cheap and it costs way less than it costs where you from. And y'all stupid, slow, so crazy that y'all gonna let this come down here and not show no love to Louisiana. This ain't book no Louisiana artist. This ain't book Big Papa. This ain't book B Will. This ain't book Hurricane. They didn't even go to Baton Rouge and get no boosies or nothing. No.
Now Boosie would bring people from other areas, but every other artist that he named, who's showing up to the concert from out of state? Who's showing up from New York? Who's spending New York money? Who's spending California money in Louisiana to see any of those artists that Hurricane Chris just named? I'll wait. I will wait. Who is spending the big bucks to come see Hurricane Chris do A Baby for 40 minutes straight? I will wait. Because this is the problem. The lack of notoriety. The lack of good business sense. Because you got to think, in Louisiana, if Curtis brings all of those acts here, right, pays them all, but has a great turnout as far as crowd goes, he makes money hand over fist. to fund his studios, which is essentially what he's trying to do. This is a play to stimulate growth for his company. You saying that he's not going to put any money in Louisianian, Louisianian hands or any pockets, but who is he more likely to hire in his studio? Who's going to be a part of his production company? Who's going to be the secretaries? Who's going to take the calls? Who's going to write the emails? Who's going to do the business on a day in, day out basis? So it's a small level of thinking, because more than likely the average Louisiana person from Louisiana is going to be hired into the company. I'm not going to say average, above average, but it's going to be a Louisiana resident that's more than likely going to work in 50's company. That company does well, the job gets secured, people's households and lives are funded. Now they're out spending money in Shreveport, in Louisiana, just doing basic things. So it's not about you, the individual, getting the bag. It's about what stimulates the economy in Shreveport, which would lead to a better result for everyone overall. But because you're so short-sighted, because you're so blind by your own personal circumstance, because you got one hit that nobody ever wants to hear again, because you're so emotional, because you're so desperate, because you're in such a downtrodden position as an artist that you can't really get any traction unless you mention another artist's name in some way, shape, or form. Nobody was talking about Hurricane Chris before this. You had one episode on my Math Hoffa's podcast prior to this, and we still didn't want to hear you music then, when it was just you. If you worked on your craft as much as you worked on this scheme to put your name in the media, we might actually like the music that you're talking about performing. But instead, what you want to do is do the typical thing, the typical Negro thing. You're going to try to rob a black man, extort a black man for what he decided to do himself, for what he got himself. You want to extort him. You want to rob him of the opportunity that he created for himself. And then you want to go to social media and get everybody on board with you to say, oh, that's messed up. And even social media doesn't agree with you. It's like, out of all people, Hurricane Chris, why wouldn't Boosie say anything? We would respect it if Boosie said it, but Boosie didn't say it. Because Boosie has managed to keep his relevance. He's managed to maintain his relevance all this time, all these years. But nobody cares if we never hear from Hurricane Chris ever again. And that's the truth. That's just the truth.
No webbies, like, he didn't with us, came to take advantage of us. Shreveport had cheap ass land. He came and bought that shit, and a nigga don't give a fuck about with us. And he just showed you that.
He bought the cheap ass land. He decided to build upon it. Chris, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm going in on this. I got a huge overarching thing. Bring you up to speed, Chris. I'm talking about the emotional fragility of men from Louisiana. Essentially. Appreciate you checking in, my guy. Appreciate you checking in. But this is what I'm talking about. What is Hurricane Chris? What is Hurricane Chris going to do with the bag after he gets the bag, besides blow it? Besides buy some more chains and whatnot? 50 Cent is a businessman. He's a mogul. He creates jobs and opportunities for other people. He has a production company. He's creating a studio. That studio is going to need to be filled with writers, directors, staff, makeup artists, prosthetic personnel, possibly stuntmen, stunt doubles, just any job that you can think in a production studio. He's going to create jobs in Shreveport. And you're worried about one concert. You're worried about yourself not getting paid or individuals not getting paid from one concert, where 50 is clearly making a play to stimulate the Shreveport economy, because it is so downtrodden in Shreveport that, as you said yourself, hold on, let me back it up, because he just said it.
Ain't book no Louisiana artist. This ain't book Big Papa. This ain't book B Will. This ain't book Hurricane.
Who are these people? Someone tell me who those people are, but continue.
Didn't even go to Baton Rouge and get no boosies or no Webbies. Like, didn't with us.
Now, this is what I'm saying. The Shreveport economy is so poor that
came to take advantage of us. Shreveport had cheap ass land.
So he saw an opportunity in the market, bought up some cheap ass land, as you put it, is going to build a studio on it, having an event, getting A+ artists, A1 artists, right? A1 performers to come in, stimulate the economy through his company, so that people from New York, people from California, people from Florida, people from places where there's actually money at can come and bring that money to Shreveport. The only people that are going to come and see Hurricane Chris in Louisiana are other motherfuckers from Louisiana. I could be wrong. But from a business perspective, this is what I'm saying. The only people that are interested in seeing Hurricane Chris play A Bay Bay for 40 minutes straight, perform A Bay Bay for 40 minutes straight, are other individuals in Louisiana.
He came and bought that shit, and a nigga don't give a fuck about with us. And he just showed you that by paying the police $500,000 when we got young niggas out here starving, when we got young niggas out here killing each other.
Gotta pay for security, especially if it's going to be a super large event. Gotta pay for security. So you mad that he got security in a state where it's concealed carry? Hold on, let me see. Is it concealed carry or open carry in Louisiana? As of July 4th, 2024, Louisiana residents who are at least 18 years old, and can legally possess a firearm can conceal carry said firearm without a permit. If I'm having an event with thousands of people, I'm getting the police in Louisiana too. I'm getting the police in Louisiana because all of y'all can conceal carry. So I must assume, and I must plan for it, everybody being strapped.
That money could have went to anything that helped the fucking youth. We don't need more money invested into the police. We need more money invested into the community. We need.
So how is paying? Make it make sense. How is paying Hurricane Chris, Lil Boosie, investing into the community and putting it into the youth? Or I can get my company, my production company, I can have this stimulating event for my company, funnel all the funds into my studio that I'm developing, and I can hire the youth so that they can work for theirs like I worked for mine.
Who know the community, who know the people, who willing to put their feet on the ground to make a difference with their influence. Your money. We don't care nothing about it. You think these white people ain't been having no money in Louisiana? They using you to come through this and to pay the city up. They finna use.
Yeah, more money in the city is a good thing, because typically when there's more money in the city, there's more ways to fund the programs that you're talking about to affect the youth, to benefit the youth, to steer the youth in the right direction. Because what you're not going to do is just give young people a bunch of money and expect them to know how to use it. They have to be taught how to use it. So the money needs to go into programs to educate kids on what to do with the money once they get it. What it doesn't need to do is go back into the hands of Hurricane Chris, Lil Boosie. As much as I love Lil Boosie, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to feed you and your families. That you're not thinking about the community, you're thinking about yourself. Just be honest. I wish you would just be honest about that.
Use you to rebuild the roads. They not finna use you to help the youth. Louisiana give.
I beg to differ. The amount of taxes like that 50 would have to pay from these events would definitely go to the roads. So you're just talking out the side of your neck at this point.
About jail.
The people around 50 Cent are from New York. Even the ones who live in Shreveport, they are attempting to gatekeep a person who could have really made a difference. I challenge you to let me show you our community and the things that the rotten people around you have hidden. We are the fourth worst educated state in America. Murder happens daily, and our youth is lost. None of the people I know the fourth worst educated state, because this is a whole run-on sentence. I need a period. I need some commas. Like, bro, break this shit up. Jesus. Okay, this is the problem. Right? So I'm going to just point out several fallacies in this statement alone. New York, even the ones who live in Shreveport, they're attempting to gatekeep a person who could have really made a difference. What difference could you have made? What is your plan? We see what 50's plan is. What is the plan that you have? I challenge you to let me show you our community and the things that the rotten people around you have hidden. What rotten things? We are the fourth worst educated state in America. Okay. That's true. So what is your plan to fix that? This is what, like, I just don't understand. Like, when people just get to complaining, and they don't actually provide any solutions or think of any ways to get out of it. I don't understand this behavior. I really don't. Murder happens on the daily, and our youth is lost. None of the people around, but you're perpetuating the murder because you wish bodily harm, you wish death upon Curtis Jackson. So I don't understand why you are the shining example that's going to magically save Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't see it. You haven't put anything forth that makes me want to spend my money and invest my money with Hurricane Chris over 50 Cent. I don't see it. I just don't see it. It's just not making sense to me. So you wish bodily harm. Hold on. Oh, I forgot about this. So he's talking about murder happens on the daily, right? Let's go back over here. Hold on. Talking about murder happens on the daily. What's this?
They try to take me away from
What's this though?
murder. What's the case that they gave? What's the case that they gave? Murder. What's the case that they gave? AK-47 on side of my murder. What's the case that they gave? What's the case that they gave? Murder. What's the case that they gave? What's the case?
Yeah, because that's how you're gonna change the community. All right, enough of this. So the only reason I spent time on this because this happened weeks ago, right? This has been going on for weeks. The only reason to properly illustrate the fallacy in logic, the emotionality of the Louisiana male, and how our people as a whole are more inclined into showing other groups and America as a whole how we're so quick to react without actually thinking through things. Like, I guarantee you would have had better luck with this if you would have just messaged 50 Cent directly instead of immediately taking to social media. You could have talked to 50 Cent and said, hey man, listen, I know I ain't that high right now, but Boosie been relevant for years. And I just think that him being a part of a show in Louisiana that is of that magnitude would be a great look for both you and him. On some humble stuff. You know what I'm saying? On a humble vibe. Because again, for the 50th time, ain't nobody trying to see Hurricane Chris perform A Bay for 40 minutes straight. Nobody. I don't care what you say. And that brings me into the main topic of the show. This has recently just happened. Super Bowl snub. Did Lil Wayne get snubbed in the Super Bowl? Did Lil Wayne get snubbed in the Super Bowl? Did Lil Wayne get snubbed in the Super Bowl? Nicki Minaj went off on Jay-Z. Nicki Minaj said her piece. Birdman also had some choice words. Didn't necessarily direct it at the situation. He was just like, you know what I'm saying? He did his usual thing. All Miss Gladys. Right. So, shout out to Rob B. Salute to Rob B. Appreciate you stopping by, Rob B. This is the thing. Why are people so quick, our people specifically, to come from an emotional perspective on everything? To show other groups and other cultures that we are quick to do the knee-jerk reaction without fully thinking things through. Now, I would say that from a Louisiana perspective, the moment that I saw it, my knee-jerk reaction as one that is from New Orleans was forget Hove. Forget Hove, forget Roc Nation, forget. But in thinking it through, again, my upbringing, coming from a more logical perspective than most, which is the reason that I've, more than likely, the reason why I've made it to my 30s. Coming from an environment where the simplest disagreements can land your gray matter on the concrete. Thinking things through. it makes more sense for Kendrick Lamar to be at Super Bowl halftime than it does for Lil Wayne. If we're thinking from a cultural perspective and a content perspective, if we're thinking from a cultural perspective and a content perspective, what was the reason that Hove even got involved with the NFL in the first place? Anybody remember? Around the time, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, taking a knee was up for contention, and Hove said, we need more actionable items. We need to do something. So then he got involved with the NFL, and we've been having banger after banger halftime shows. Usher, Beyonce. Okay, yeah. I mean, wasn't he already rich? Wasn't to be richer, possibly? Yeah, I can see that. But wasn't he already rich, Robbie? Come on. Okay, there we go. Two things can happen at the same time. Is all I'm saying. Two things can happen at the same time. But definitely, let's not forget. Let's not forget. But also, you know what I'm saying. So, Lil Wayne's content, he's more raw. He's a rapper's rapper. You know what I'm saying? Even Kendrick Lamar, like back when Lil Wayne said that he was going to retire, Kendrick Lamar made a video and was like, "No, Wayne, don't. No." It's the hardest I ever heard a nigga say the word no. You know what I'm saying? So when we think of a content, when we hold up content, and this is why it's so silly for anybody to compare Kendrick Lamar with Drake or anybody like that, because when we look from a content perspective, the depth of Kendrick Lamar's catalog, content wise, meaning his messaging, the message that he's trying to convey, the nuances of Black culture that he's trying to illustrate through his words. If we're going to look at what would be more impactful for Black people at the Super Bowl, which is arguably one of the most watched events in the world, Kendrick Lamar is my choice over Lil Wayne. From a man that grew up on Lil Wayne. I mean, all the mixtapes, all the dedications, the droughts. You know what I'm saying? Squad Up, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Back when he was messing with T Streets. I don't know if T Streets is still in the picture, but is in the background role. You know what I'm saying? T Streets, Gutta Gutta. I'm talking the original Young Money. You know what I mean? I still gotta give it to Kendrick, because Kendrick will have that look for the halftime show. Let's be honest, Lil Wayne is gonna rap about pussy for 15 minutes straight. He's gonna talk about coochie for 15 minutes straight. Let's not act like we don't know who Lil Wayne is. There are songs that Lil Wayne has, but they're few and far between. Like songs that are speaking towards something, towards Black empowerment, or verses that are speaking towards Black empowerment. That's few and far between for Wayne. If I'm trying to highlight Black empowerment at the Super Bowl halftime, I got to give it to Kendrick, especially with the run that Kendrick just had. And people are people kill me. People kill me with their speculations because everybody has been so off. It's like, oh, Kendrick is the hottest artist of late, so it makes more sense that he's a. It has nothing to do with you being the hottest artist because Usher with the last. Wasn't Usher the last Super Bowl, and he wasn't the hottest artist of 2024 or 2023. It's not about who's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's about who is an A1 performer and who can show that they can perform. With the performance that he just gave at his pop-up concert, which was more of and all of the tours that he's done, Kendrick has shown that he can provide a good performance. And I think he outweighs Lil Wayne in that aspect as well, because Wayne is notorious for not remembering his lyrics. I mean, if I've done 10,000 songs over the course of 30 years, 30 years, I might slip up here and there. I might not remember all the lyrics. Because Lil Wayne, his whole thing was grinding it out, becoming a machine. He was a machine to the music. As such, you get the results that you get with that. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that too. Like, he's due for a retwist for sure. I'm not even gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? Or he might be due for a reset and he just doesn't want to go through with it. Because I know I ain't trying. Listen, we talking. Hold on one sec. We talking. This is what people don't understand about dreadheads, right? We talking 8 years right here. We talking 8 years. We talking 8 years. I wouldn't want to go through a reset as Lil Wayne. You know what? Leave it down for now. I wouldn't want to go through a reset as Lil Wayne. And honestly, I couldn't see Wayne being bald for any period of time. Yeah, no, it's you know what I'm saying? It's like that. I got a full lion's mane. You know what I'm saying? I just keep it up. Cause you know what I'm saying? It should be scratching my neck. But yeah. So I couldn't imagine what Lil Wayne looks like bald, like if he cut it all off and had to do the reset. So I think as much as people comment on his hair and how he looks today, I know he had some dental stuff because his cheeks were, like in a few interviews, his cheeks were swole up like a chipmunk in the winter. So yeah, I think he's been going through it health-wise as well. But as much as I want to, as a boy from New Orleans that grew up on Lil Wayne's music, you know what I'm saying? It was a backdrop to so many, sock hops, school dances, socials, and all of that. As much as I want to see Lil Wayne, do his thing at the Super Bowl, I don't think it's ever really been a thing that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Dr. Dre in LA was one of the only times that the Super Bowl actually honored somebody with a halftime show in their own city. I don't think it's ever happened another time like that. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce wasn't in the Super Bowl halftime in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Usher, that was out in Vegas, but Usher's from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I want to see it, and it would be dope for the city, I'm not. I'm not really. What is this? I don't know what that is. I'm not really pressed about seeing Lil Wayne. I'm not really pressed about seeing Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl. I think Hove is doing the right thing, and also consider this: there's a bunch of other white people at the table besides Hove. So it's not just like Hove gets to say the final say over it. He has a seat at the table, and when you have a seat at the table, you have a voice, you have input, you have consideration, you have leverage. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You don't get the final word. And I think just from a business perspective, from a cultural perspective, it was easier for Hove to sell Kendrick than it was to sell Wayne. Because Wayne's career has gone down. Like, this isn't mixtape Weezy anymore. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? This isn't the guy that you have to go to get a feature on your album to make sure that it's a platinum record. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy that you go to get a feature just because you want a feature because that you know is going to be a legendary feature. But he's not positioned in the game anymore to be a necessary component to the extent of, we need this verse from Wayne to make sure that the album does what it's supposed to do. It's not that guy anymore. There was a time he was that guy. You know what I'm saying? And to a lot of us, he will always be that guy. But right now in music, he's not that guy. Who would be that guy right now? J. Cole was that guy until he apologized. So we're not gonna talk about that. J. Cole somewhere on a bike right now, living life. Let him live life. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? From a cultural perspective, Kendrick Lamar makes a lot more sense than Lil Wayne does. If we're trying to highlight the culture, if we're trying to highlight the nuances, if we're trying to highlight the struggle that the average black person in America goes through, or the thought processes of the average black person in America, having to live in a society that was not created for them, but was created by them. You know what I'm saying? The foundation. We just have to consider. We have to consider what's more valuable. And Lil Wayne rapping about his love of vagina for 15 minutes straight, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't. Even more, some of his more thought-provoking songs, right? Like Glory, like Gossip, like he's more of a self-centered artist. He doesn't really talk about political stuff. Sorry, it just is what it is. Now I will say what Kendrick can do is, because Kendrick and Lil Wayne have been on each other's records. So what I think Kendrick can do, because Kendrick loves Wayne. Like I said earlier, Kendrick loves Wayne. So what I think the play will be is that Lil Wayne has a feature slot, like how Eminem brought out 50 Cent, or Dr. Dre brought out Eminem, and Eminem said he wasn't going to do it without 50 Cent. I think Kendrick is going to have Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl just to honor him. That's what I think. Matter of fact, I'm willing to put some money behind it. Honestly, I'm willing to put some money behind it that Kendrick is going to have Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl. We'll see, though. We'll see. It's just a smarter thing. And like what Hove is supposed to be in the game is supposed to be, he's trying to guide the ship in a certain direction. Like Jay-Z's trying to guide the ship in a certain direction, and people are going to be in an uproar about it. Listen, when you're in a position of leadership, and Rob B, I think you spoke to this on your live stream earlier today. I caught it. I caught it that your 8-minute live stream. Everybody check out Rob B's channel. It's super duper dope. Now she be going at people's necks, just like her and Will. You know what I'm saying? They be going at people's necks. I can't say it's undeserving. But when you're in a position of leadership, right? There are going to be people that don't like the way that you lead, but you have to lead them anyway. When you're in a position of leadership, not everybody is going to agree with the decisions that you make. It takes a certain stomach. It takes a certain level of resolve to have. Oh, word. Okay. I hope to catch that later on. It takes a certain resolve in order to make the necessary decisions, to see what needs to be done and act on it, and not give a fuck what anybody thinks. You have to. It's not about guessing. It's not about thinking at that point. It's about knowing that this is the course of action that needs to be taking place and executing on it. That's it. Like, this needs to happen. That's what Hove's state of mind is. Kendrick needs to happen. He ran the numbers up. And this is what I was saying earlier, right? About people saying, oh, Kendrick ran the numbers up and all of this. The Super Bowl, anytime, Raw, anytime. But the Super Bowl is such a huge platform. Oh, welcome back, Chris. And hold on, Robbie, I forgot this is your new channel. Hold on. It's your new channel, so I gotta give you a wrench over here. Hold on. Because I've been looking, I'm like, she ain't got a wrench. Hold on, how do I'm gonna figure it out. Hold on. Because I'm in the pop-up chat with it. And it's not giving me the option. I'm trying to hit the I'm gonna put the chat back real quick, but while I'm doing that, people kill me with their assessment of things and they don't know what the hell they be talking about. So the Super Bowl is such a huge platform, right? Where they don't even pay the artists that perform at the halftime shows. It's such a huge platform that they don't even pay the artists to perform. And the way that they I'm a big wrench you, Raw. I'm a big wrench you. All right. Should be updated, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay. I think it did something. So the way that it works is the Super Bowl is such a huge platform that they don't even pay the artists to perform because it's supposed to broaden the horizons. Remember, worth $1 billion, Rihanna, when she performed, she didn't get a penny. So people saying the assessment of, oh, Kendrick Lamar has had such a great run this year that it makes all the sense in the world for him to he'll bring more visibility to the Super Bowl. It's not how the Super Bowl works. It's actually the other way around. So they don't pay the artists because the artists are going to get so much visibility from it that their numbers are going to blow up. And, RIP Drake, because, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Drake's ever been at the Super Bowl. But, you know what I'm saying? We'll see if this is very true. We'll see if that's true. Because Kendrick Lamar's numbers are going to skyrocket after the Super Bowl game. If that's an actual fact. If that's an actual fact, if that's a Snapple top fact, Kendrick Lamar's numbers are going to go through the roof. And then he'll be a universal, he's already been touring in different countries and things like that, but he'll be one of those in the game. He'll be like a 50 Cent, where they know him in Dubai, Nigeria, things like that, where he can go overseas regularly. You know what I'm saying? And it'll open up the door for more things. So I just love the fact that most people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Our people have knee-jerk reactions to everything. We have an emotionality to everything. You got to stop being so damn emotional. Gotta stop being so damn emotional. Or you're going to end up like Hurricane Chris beefing with 50 Cent. Well, 50 on the type of vibe right now. Thank God. Not only did not pay the weekend. Wow, I didn't know that when the weekend was up there. Not only did the Super Bowl not pay the weekend, he went $7 million over budget, and he had to pay that out of pocket. I didn't know that. That's amazing, Chris. That's amazing. I heard, like, I'll listen to the weekend here and there. I'm not like really heavy on the weekend, but yeah, that's amazing. Don't get me wrong, he's a great singer. But that's crazy. I didn't know that about the weekend and the Super Bowl. That's crazy. But see, that could happen. That could happen. Like, they're like, we're giving you the opportunity. This is the most viewed event in sports and entertainment. Everybody's tuned into the Super Bowl because it's the clash of two titanic teams. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about another aspect of Lil Wayne's catalog. Right? Is, like I said earlier, he's so raw and so vulgar that even his clean music has dirty messaging in it that isn't family friendly at all. Like, there's nothing family friendly about, I say 89% of Lil Wayne's catalog isn't family friendly music. So to be at the Super Bowl, I'm trying to think of what songs Lil Wayne's got that could you know what I'm saying, that could potentially cross over to that audience and be received well. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I've had to learn, because in my own music, I don't like making radio edits. Because when I cuss, I meant it when I said it. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of a pride or maybe an ego thing with me as an artist. I meant that shit. When I said, I can't say too many fucks on YouTube, but when I drop F-bombs, I meant that when I said that. You know what I'm saying? When I cuss, my sister even says when she listens to my music, she's like, yeah, I can't say that you cuss all the time, but when you do, I can't say that it wasn't well placed. Yeah, exactly, Ron. It comes from down in here, like right underneath the diaphragm. Like, it's just from the pit of my soul. It just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I meant that when I said that. And so when I go back, because I record all my own music, when I go back and I have to like go back and do the radio edits, some inherently feels wrong because it was so natural. It then feels wrong for me to take it out, and that's something I got to get over. That's probably why a majority of artists don't. They leave the process up to somebody else, and I probably should. I should get into that, because then I wouldn't have such that much of an attachment to it. But yeah, man, like that's crazy. It's crazy that people actually think that because Kendrick Lamar had the recent run. Now, it probably helped for consideration. Don't get me wrong. It probably helped to be considered because Hurricane Chris ain't going to the Super Bowl. Let's be clear. Hurricane Chris ain't going to the Super Bowl. They're not asking Hurricane Chris to go to the Super Bowl. They're not asking what were the other rappers that he named? Hold on. I got to think of the other rap. I got to see. Did I cut that out? What was the other rappers that he named before? We got to go back to this video. Hold on. Cuz I don't know none of these names. So I got to go back to this. I got to go back to this video real quick of him complaining about 50 Cent not giving him nothing.
Book Big Papa.
Yeah. We was right there.
Cheap and it costs way less than it costs where you from. And y'all stupid, slow, so crazy that y'all gonna let this come down here and not show no love to Louisiana. This ain't book no Louisiana artist. This ain't book Big Papa.
Big Papa? Is he talking about B.I.G.? Oh,
ain't book B Will. This ain't book Hurricane.
He ain't book Hurricane, B Will, Big Papa. None of those artists is going to the Super Bowl. So, like, you had to put in the work. You had to do something. You had to do something substantial, impactful, something culturally relevant. So Beyonce qualified, Usher qualified, and now Kendrick qualifies because he's been him his whole career. It just is what it is. You can get mad at it. This is coming from, you know what I'm saying, Louisianimal himself, a New Orleanian. You know what I mean? Lil Wayne, some other time. Maybe some other time. Because he is relevant. I can't say that Lil Wayne isn't relevant to the culture. I can't say that Lil Wayne isn't relevant to the culture. But what I can say definitively is I definitely take Kendrick over Lil Wayne. We got to stop thinking out of emotion. We got to start thinking with our minds. We got to start thinking with logic. Because this is what it is for me. Like, the only way I can see Lil Wayne this year being on that stage as the headlining artist is if he had Drake with him. Is if he had Drake, if he was guaranteed to bring out Drake. But it just, like, what's the purpose at that point? You know what I'm saying? What's the purpose? And I think Hov was just like, this Super Bowl has to be impactful to a certain point. I wonder if Black Hippie is going to be, you know what I'm saying, if all the Black Hippie is going to be on stage. I can definitely say that Absol will be there. This is who I think is going to be alongside Kendrick, right? I think alongside Kendrick, we're gonna get Absol and Schoolboy. There will be a Wayne. There'll be a moment with Wayne. And who else? Who else? They need a female artist, but I'm trying to think of who. Oh, it'd be dope if he brought out Rhapsody. It would be fucking fire if he brought out Rhapsody. It would be fucking fire if he brought out Rhapsody. Rhapsody don't get enough love. On a past episode, I highlighted her album, her recent album. She killed it with Erykah Badu. Lil Wayne was on the album. She killed it. She murdered it. You know what I'm saying? I love that album. A few of the tracks on my playlist, and it gets spins in my whip. Ooh, Scarlet. Let's talk about Scarlet, man. This is okay. So we done with all the regular topics. Hold on. Let's talk about Scarlet. Let's talk about Scarlet real quick. Let's talk about Scarlet. I am so passionate about Scarlet. It is not even funny. And it's not even about her music. It's about like she is so damaged, right? But you can still see that she's trying to be like her utmost feminine. It's so sad. Like what was done to her and her life and upbringing. She is so underrated. Absolutely. Yeah, I was just about to say. It's funny you said that. I was just about to, like, Scarlett is a gem, right? People try to compare her, say that she's like female DMX and whatnot. But I see like underneath the tough exterior, I can see like the girl that she wants to be. But her trauma won't allow it. Absolutely not Glorilla or Sexy Red. Please no, Jesus. Jesus, no. No. Jesus, no. Jesus. Jesus, keep me near thine crowd. Listen. Listen. We not going for Glorilla or Sexy Red. I'm sorry. We not going for Glorilla or Sexy Red. But Scarlett is fucking fire. Scarlett is fucking fire to me. She's one of the more underrated, like many femcs out here. Tierra Whack. You know what I'm saying? I heard from another one the other day. I can't think of a name, but there are a lot of femcs out here. Matter of fact, I was producing a podcast for the media company that I work for, and some dude had the nerve to say that there aren't too many. Not even today. He didn't say today. He said back in the day there weren't many female rappers. And I'm like, Lauryn Hill, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, are you? Oh, what? Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. What young man, 20-something-year-old? I had to hit him with the young man. Young man, you in a room full of black women who grew up on hip hop. Get out of there. Tuck roll. Jump out the plane. Damn it. There weren't that many. There weren't that many. Make no mistake, and I'll be the first one to tell you, right? I'll be the first one to tell you. The female component of hip hop has always been a staple in hip hop. I will be the first one to tell you that. As a matter of fact, I don't think there would be as many male rappers if women weren't into hip hop music. Men would have given up on hip hop in 5 seconds if women didn't gravitate to it. Knock it off. Give the women their just due. Give the women their just due. Like, sheesh. I had to tell it, like, yo. And then he did a freestyle. I wasn't that impressed, but I'm not gonna go into that. So yeah. Scarlett, she's dope. But if you look at her in interviews and like listen to her speak and whatnot and speak about what she's been through, and like my heart breaks for that young girl. My heart breaks for that's one of the few individuals, not just like female rappers or anything, or rappers in general. That's just one of the few individuals that can do no wrong in my eyes, just because of what she's been through and what she's aspiring to do. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to do something positive with her life, and she doesn't quite know. Like, you can see she doesn't quite know how to get at it because she's been dealt so much negativity throughout the course of her life. My heart absolutely breaks for that girl every time I see her. If I saw her in real life, I wouldn't know what to do. I'll be honest. I'd probably just give her a hug and have to run away before she tries to stab me. But it's just like, yo, like that girl right there, that's an authentic individual. I don't know about the Sexy Red or the Glorrillas. I don't know about those. Cause Glorilla, this is what I don't get about Glorilla, right? What I don't understand about Glorilla is that she got some of the most masculine lyrics I've ever heard in my life. But every time you see her on a video, she is like the most effeminate chick. She's like super hard, right? In her raps. But when you see her on an IG video or something like that, or a piece of content or behind the scenes video, she is a real girly girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And then Sexy Red, I don't get that at all. That's just, I don't get anything that Sexy Red doing. I don't understand it. She just hoeing for the sake of hoeing. What I do, the only thing that I appreciate about Sexy Red, and I've said it all the time in the spaces that y'all catch me in, I've said it, is I can respect a hoe that knows that they're a hoe and admits that they're a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So Sexy Red, Sukihana, I don't like what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But on some level, I can respect it because these are hoes that are hoe. There ain't nothing worse in life than a half a hoe. Where the chick be on some hoe shit and then want to act like she not a hoe. No, you a hoe. Be a hoe. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a hoe. Be a ho. Be a ho. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to portray yourself as a good girl and then be on some hoe shit. Because that's just going to cause problems and issues and complications. Yeah, she's tiny. She's too tiny to be talking that aggressive. I'm sorry. She's like Glorilla is too tiny to be talking that aggressive. It is what it is. But I gotta go get my wife soon, so I'm gonna cut it off here. I appreciate all the real ones that came through to see me. Raw B, Christopher J, Replay Gang, do your thing. Peace, love, health, wealth to you all. I'm gonna chop this up, and then like I said, I gotta go get my boot thing. So salute to you all. Raw B, I'm gonna be looking forward to your live stream later that you said you was gonna be doing. And I'm out. Take care, y'all.